Welcome everyone. I'm Evelyn and I have a few reads for you today. I have two of my messages of the day, as well as the read on the table, which is for the twin flames, and lots of cool information. Check out my Instagram. There, every day I put very significant messages on my Instagram, much shorter than what I do here, for those of you who don't have the time to watch. And I'm going to pull from, I was going to pull a past life deck card just to open, and then the Journey of Love as well in the beginning. And we'll pull a card at the end as well. So let's see, from the past life deck, which I haven't been using much until this week, I was guided to pull a few cards, like just one a day, to remind you perhaps about an old wound that might need a little bit of clearing here. So let's see what comes up with the past life deck. And then we'll go into Journey of Love. We're going to roll the die as well. There's been some beautiful, beautiful energies coming up. For those of you who didn't watch my last video, I was in Costa Rica this month. It was just beautiful. It was a yoga retreat. And of course, yesterday was the lunar eclipse going into the April 8th solar eclipse. All right, so from the past life deck, let's see what's going on here. All right, we have Greco-Roman, so this period, perhaps any of the old structures you might want to look at from Rome and Greece to see what might come up for you. The sun is bursting through the sky right there. This next card wants to come up too. So the arts may be coming up. So there may be some kind of wound regarding that. This card did come up for me as well. And we have the piano and the guitar here coming together. I'm getting Shakespeare. The underlying energy is coming up as Egypt, which is interesting because I posted the Page of Wands with the King of Cups on my Instagram today. And the Page of Wands and the Rider-Waite has the desert and the pyramids in the background on that Page of Wands here. So Egypt is coming up as the underlying energy. And then the Pantheon, the Parthenon, all of those structures, and wherever Shakespeare would have performed is coming up as well. And I'm seeing the strings are mimicking the pillars over here. And the sun's rays are mimicking the keys. Very interesting. The keys of the sun and the pillars, the strings, the chords being the pillars. The sun's streaming in phased array amongst the pillars of our day. So let's see what else comes up with these two guys. That's a very interesting combination there. Okay, and don't forget that Egypt, the pyramids came up as well, and there's this energy of the sun bursting through the clouds here too, to send a message perhaps. And communal living is right behind that too. So the mountains and how we carve things into the mountains, caves, we hide away. We use the mountains as protection. And then we have, this card is underneath those two cards, which again, the pyramid's coming up, which is why I'm showing you. The traveling man, the salesman, leaving her travel is coming up. So all of these energies regarding the community and the traveling salesman and the pyramids here. I'm getting the acting community, specifically stage, more prominently is coming up. All right, let's see what Journey of Love has for you. The strings, the chords, Journey of love. Can you expand on this for the best and highest good of all those concerned? Any guides, angels, masters who'd like to come through, you're welcome, as long as you're coming through in that high vibe love light of the highest order for the best and highest good of all those concerned. And that came right up. All right, now this is actually the back of the cards, okay, for the deck, the self-initiation. I feel like it's a message of completion. And the 12 is the hanging man of wisdom. And of course, Easter's coming up. And this energy of the feminine here and self-initiation within the vortex, enjoying herself. And there's the communal dance, so the community coming up again. Right? So she's by herself in the vortex here, but also amongst the community. The communal egg is coming up here. And the 5 of the Hierophant, the master of the hidden house, which is also freedom, change, and expansion. Freedom of the hanging man. Right, celebrating the egg. The bottom of the deck is the cosmic butterfly, the 36 of the 10 of wands, which is the Atlas energy. And that energy of transformation here. And of course, the mother's energy is coming in here as well. The mother, the butterfly, the cosmic butterfly, and the energy of Atlas, which is the map of intent. Right, the mother's intent of transformation. And behind that is the yin-yang lover, where the feminine is bending over backwards to clear the wounds from the vortex here, as then she's here dancing in a cleared space, leaving her room to connect with the community here. And I'm getting with the human race. So let me put this down here. And I'm just going to sit these in front of these two guys here, with love between the music and the pillars that lie beneath. What lies beneath. I'm seeing a heart now here too, this heart right here. And it's like they're both the same, like the shape of the holding the egg here is mimicking this card as well. It's like the feminine here is the egg in the middle of the community about to birth, about to burst forward. Wow, that's significant. Okay, so let's get right into these reads. I'm going to roll the die, and then we're going to do this read first, and then my 2 messages of the day. I have a lot of other stuff I brought up too. We'll see in my notes if anything else comes up, but it just gets to be too much, and I did want to get these messages out to you before they become old. So for the twin flames here, we have the 69, which is the Cancer symbol, but it's also the 698 pod, the 2 P's in a pod. So home, family, community, which is just coming up. And then we have the 12, which is December, but it's also the hanging man. So Pisces and Capricorn usually both come up for me there. And then we have Uranus coming up as well here. So Uranus is Aquarius, of course, and sudden changes. And the energy of the hangman and Easter coming up, sitting in the middle of basically the twin flame pods and the age of Aquarius. Very interesting. So we have Cancer and Pisces or Capricorn, which are cardinals, and then Pisces is mutable. And then Aquarius is fixed. So there is a very balanced energy there as well. Remember, Uranus is all about technology as well, and the people. Right? So here's like the 2, or like the 1 in the all, or the 2 of the twin flames in the all. And the energy of Jesus, or the hangman, the wisdom between. So Sophia comes up as well. She was coming up just before the read. So let's get into this. So the message on the table, I'll just show you the picture of that first. Here's the read on the table with the SIRIAN Starseed deck underneath, the big cards, and then the Rider-Waite Mini as the clarifiers. And this was starting on the 20th. Today's the 26th. And this was cut at 5:35, which is the 5 the Hierophant, the 35 the Wounded Warrior, the 9 of Wands. And I finished clarifying at 5:45. We have the 45 is the five of Cups, yeah, which is grieving or sadness, disappointment kind of energies. This energy of the major arcana here were the Starseed in the read, the Starseed, which is like the Fool, Justice, the Great Wheel or the Wheel of Fortune, and then Guidance, which is the Hierophant. Prior to the read, the Shadow came up, which is the Devil with Lovers and the Moon or Luna. And then after the read, the Hanging Man and Indigo came up, which Indigo is the Magician in this deck, and the Hanging Man is the Hanged Man. We have 3 swords, 3 pentacles, and 1 cup came up here, or 331, the 33 of the Christ consciousness, the 31 of the group, which also can represent conflicts or group play. We also have the 3 there of the Empress and the 1 of the Magician. So we have the Knight of Cups within the read, as well as the Page of Swords. Prior to the read, the Page of Cups and Page of Wands came up. And after the read, the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups came up. We had 4 fours. It's very rare that all 4 numbers come up in one read. So all 4 fours, there's a lot of grounding energy there. The 4 is the Emperor. The 44 is the 4 of Cups, grounding and integrating or being bored. The 444 is the angelic realms, and then the 44 is 16, which is the Tower. So sudden events coming in, that can be epiphanies, that could be a sexual energy as well. We have triple 6s here and triple 1s as well, very potent energies here. The triple 1s of, that spring energy of new beginnings coming in, and the triple 6s of 6, which is the Lovers, 66, which is the Queen of Pentacles, and then the 3 6s, which is 18, which is also Kai, which is life. And you can put a negative connotation on it with the 3 6s, but that's not the energy it's bringing up here. It's all about the 6 and love, family, and community. And the 18 is the Moon, so that can represent subconscious energies, that can represent romance, it can represent nighttime, right, the eclipses. And then we have 77 as well coming up here, which is the Sovereign, the 9 of Pentacles. So there's 1 and 4, which is the Temperance card as well, 45, the 5 of Cups, 56, the 2 of Swords, 67, the Knight of Pentacles, the humble, loyal servant, and 79 also came up here as, for me, that's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. The code line here is all about the number 7 coming from 1 and 6. And that's interesting, 16/7, which the 4 4s is 16, so that Tower energy is coming up as well, again. And the messages from the code line came up as to see Sophia, which I didn't plan that when I was getting messages from her. I'm very connected to the energy of Sophia. I always have been since I started awakening. And in trying to connect more fully today, she was guiding me to send my inner child to her. And that way I would only have to connect with my inner child in order to connect more fully to her. But I wasn't letting go of her. Like she wanted to go up to Sophia and I wouldn't let her go. And then I did. And she was giggling and happy, and she gave Sophia a big hug. And she's like, "This is fun. All you have to do now is connect with me, and then you'll be here." So it's kind of interesting the way that was coming up. So here in the code line, it was saying, see Sophia, and a sudden event. The saxifrage comes up here, which is a stone-breaking plant. It can be that breakthrough, like the Ace of Pentacles in the SIRIAN Starseed deck, but also can be that plant that was planted in there in order to make change. So that energy to see Sophia in a sudden event regarding the madman or the stone-breaking plant, and acing the balanced human with another saxifrage or stone-breaking starseed. So to suit 2 different energies, right, the masculine and the feminine coming together, but both being a stone-breaking plant, or that change, right, being the change. The lovers to balance with guidance. To see also south or southeast is coming up. The word fouet came up, which is the hearth or hard pastry or brioche. The energy of the crazy one. I was getting Snoopy too as the ace. The crazy ace and the crazy starseed share. Lovers expand with guidance or expand their own guidance, perhaps to others as well. And then to see if and only if the Fool 1.5 and the Fool starseed 6.5 commit. Very interesting. And 1.5 and 6.5 is 8, which is the crazy 8's dance. So we start with the Four of Swords reversed here. And beneath that is the Page of Cups reversed, the Six of Cups reversed. And this is from the bottom up. The Shadow upright, the Lovers upright, the Luna or Moon reversed, the Page of Wands upright, and then the Six of Wands upright. The energy of shy, vulnerable energy, and fallen out. The Shadow Lover's deception, or up early for the Page of Wands to lead the way and get attention, and rise or awaken and come out. The home or in union with lover and sharing with others, as the Page of Swords is upright with the Page of Wands, and the King of Cups reversed between them, boldly moving forward. Or the Page of Swords may be Gemini, and the King of Cups reversed could be Cancer here, as the Page of Wands is coming home from the beach or the water, just to travel again, depending on the conditions, or kids falling out to take someone else instead. As the Page of Wands is upright, rejecting the Page of Cups reversed, and taking the Page of Swords instead. In the recent past here, we have the Justice card upright, after Destined Emperor reversed, maybe dumping their illusions and starting over. The Page of Pentacles may be that energy of invitation or opportunity, but also the Page of Pentacles. It could be a student or an earth sign child, but an invite or opportunity for truth and balance here. Uncomfortable awakening with the Knight of Pentacles and Page of Cups both reversed, having to bridge to the other side on their own. Perhaps Capricorn and Pisces kids, Libra and Aries adults, as the foundation is the Ace of Pentacles reversed, withholding or saving or preparing for a new start, releasing depression or Hierophant looking back at their risky behavior, perhaps chased by the devil, or their perception was that, from another world, forgiving them. With the Aquarius and Pisces reversed, Taurus and Capricorn upright here, the central energy being the Four of Pentacles reversed, which in the SIRIAN Starseed deck is often my Divine Masculine card as the Divine Masculine in the Batcave. And the Knight of Wands upright, Dark Knight as well, divide and conquer, or two sides of the Divine Masculine coming out of the Batcave, or doesn't know if they're coming or going, as the Dark Knight is shifting to the Knight of Cups, offering love or kindness to the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Perhaps two out in the cold, yet in bliss of coming together to socialize and dance. As the challenge is the Starseed upright, with a big download to the crown, fending off love from the Empress reversed after a falling out in the past, or mother and children in need of help. And now crowning is the Seven of Swords, passing downloads, and seen by a leader, these downloads being passed, moving to peace, grounding and integrating good news coming in, but dissatisfied when no announcement came through, unhappy alone, or a need to swallow their pride post-war, or post any conflict that's happened recently, with there could be some PTSD that you're dealing with, or somebody else, their issues, but also fear coming up here, needing strength and the courage to fix or make amends, to expose all to the High Priestess, or vacation with sister perhaps, energizing the High Priestess upright and the fallen angel, at work with the Magician, and all tools on board, holding their tongue to channel their powers. Soon coming up here is the Six of Crystals here. After a fight and or deception, Atlas burdened, stressed at night, or too wound up to sleep, and then being charitable, as the Queen of Wands is without choice but to rise above with no sleep, or awaken and come out about it. At 825 is the strength of the 25, the Knight of Wands, or that could be a Leo as well, the twin flames seeing themselves as the Knight of Cups, and being love. The Nine of Pentacles with Justice and the Queen of Cups reversed, or mediation of two here, with the Tower upright, the Ten of Pentacles reversed, and the Fool upright. Perhaps suddenly lucked out with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, loss, setting the Fool free, and the Divine Feminine implementing a plan with the Hermit's advice, with the King of Wands upright, Libra and Virgo upright, Scorpio and Aries upright here. That could reference the Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio signs are all in a row with Aries in the North Node, and also are in Aries now. The Knight of Cups is upright from dealing here with dysfunctional family or investing. July 9th was coming up here. Or investing like from 7 Pentacles to 9, right? Trying to expand some kind of energy, money, time invested in something, trying to grow it, with the Hermit to master their passions. Around the twins, or how they're seen here, is the Great Wheel, and the Knight of Cups with the clarity, or made a decision to align and get over themselves for their destiny to come true or play out. And Libra upright is there. Multiple times. We have Justice, and for me also the Great Wheel. The block here is the Page of Swords, seeing the light, with the King of Pentacles reversed, the King of Swords upright, and the Nine of Wands reversed, or the Wounded Warrior surrendering. Ungrounded King of Swords surrenders, or blocked by the Page of Swords child or message, with guidance back and forth here. That could be a Taurus as well. Playing hardball in a disconnect with the Queen of Swords reversed, committed to awaken post-war, post-virus, right? Dealing with whatever happens post-war, which is usually PTSD and looting, and done stretching here. There may have been a growth spurt, and now, taking a respite from that, and receiving the Ace of Wands new passions from the Indigo upright, a passionate proposal to ground and integrate union. Libra and Libra challenged by Aries here, and disconnect from Taurus or a marriage, or there's a bidding war on a house here with a possible proposal that actually may work out. With the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the King of Wands upright, the Seven of Pentacles reversed with the Nine of Swords upright, the Page of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups reversed, and the Ace of Cups upright with the Death card upright. And that was right at 9 o'clock then. Double zeros of source energy backing up the 9 or the Hermit. Union blocked by the King of Wands, investing in hiding underground, as the Page of Pentacles is curious if the Queen of Cups reversed will receive love from the Dark Knight, or will they ghost? Right? So will a proposal be received, or will they turn the other way or disappear? So at 9 o'clock, and there's that energy of Easter as well, right? 3 to 9, and the Divine Masculine rising here, as the Page of Wands is upright, and victory awakening and holding back a new life, as the Knight of Cups is destined with Justice, making amends, perhaps the Divine Masculine there, challenged by Starseed, which is that leap of faith and a new start, or perhaps getting knocked for a loop there, sharing with the Page of Swords or messages and downloads, witnessed by guidance, or with an idea post-war to ignite indigo, bored at home and stuck with the Page of or King of Wands upright, who may be paying them under the table, but curious Queen of Cups reversed is self-loving in transition. The Page of Wands may be excited here with good news. It can also be a fire sign child who's just inspired, leading the way without sleep to truth and balance and planning a new beginning, letting go or investing a bit, challenged by starseeds, knocked for a loop or taking a risk, passing information, as the Knight of Cups is sharing destiny with the Page of Swords, committing with a bright idea, post-war passion with indigo, grounding and integrating a home perhaps, or at home, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, stuck, feeling impoverished, as the King of Wands upright is investing in underground newbie here, and that could be a child. The Page of Pentacles may be curious about the Queen of Cups reversed, exuding love in transition, even though she's reversed. So they're like, what's this all about? like they're reversed. So she may be sad, or she may be disconnected. She could be feeling depressed, or she could be drinking, you know. But at the same time, she's learning to raise her vibration because there's love exuding from her despite her disposition there. And then I Am Woman was coming up. So I was getting I Am Woman and I Am Mother was coming up, and I did a whole channeling that day about that. So again, there's just this strong energy about the mother energy coming in. All right, let's go to the next read here for you guys. Let's see. Okay. So here's the message of the day. And this starts with the Fortune's Oracle, and then the Journey of Love, the Energy deck, and then the Rider deck there. Okay, so here's the message. For those of you not familiar, the underlying energies are on the left. And then these, I usually pull 3 cards, and then any cards that come out organically. Is that the right one? Yeah. At the end here, they're just extra cards that wanted to come out. I use them for numerology and to complete the storyline for each of these, okay? All right, so here's this first message of the day. So I went into the Fortune's Oracle first, and I got all this information, and then I finished the other 3 decks. So first we started at 4:51 on the 22nd here. And the first card that came out was the Judgment book opened, number 14. So I opened a book. So I ended up going to the Edgar Cayce companion book, and I opened to page 236 to 37. And it was about Adam and the incarnations of Jesus, and Lucius, the Bishop of Cyrene, which was one of Edgar Cayce's incarnations. And one of the quotes there was, Jesus was the man, Christ the messenger. And messenger was the first word on the page. Jesus, Joshua, Melchizedek, and they're talking about them having led Judaism, and Christ in all ages, those who come or came as that child of promise, as to the children of promise. And they describe, he's channeling, right? So they're calling the incarnations entities. Were all together in Emilius. They were material bodies as came in Adam, as came Zan, eventually through incantations and incarnations into the earth. Those forces is the Savior in all periods. And so he's asking questions. He asks, is this period, was I of the Jewish race? And the answer was no Jews then. That was years later. So I don't want to go too much into it because a lot of the wording is kind of old school wording, so it's not as clear to the general public as it might have been at one time. This read that I just showed you, now I'm coming together with the other 3 decks, and the piles at the end came out 1, 1, 1, 1, but also, so if the first comes out by itself, that's 1, and then I also do the total cards. So 1, 1, 1, 1 is in Gematria, twin flames, as the first entry. And then 4, 2, 1, 8, and 3, 7 came up. The twin flames with 2 of Cups romance. The number 4218 came up. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you. This was really cool. So I hadn't sat down on the piano for a long time. It's probably been months. And this night, this was on the 22nd. So the night of the 21st, I had sat down at my piano and started writing a song. And part of the chorus was the best is yet to come. And then here I looked this up the next day, 4218, the first entry in Gematria of this number that came up. And the entry was, be your best is yet to come. The best days of your life are ahead of you, literally. The second entry was, the greatest commandment is that you love thy neighbor as yourself. Oh, also, I talked about maca, because that was our room name in Costa Rica. But it also kept coming up as this, instead of the plant, as maca, like a Japanese word that means more than that. And it was being paralleled here with word, like the word of God, maca being the feminine word of God. It was very interesting the way it came through. And before macaw came up in relation to this, I think I wrote that in my Instagram post around that day. So the macaw bird was also coming up, but you notice that macaw is a very balanced word. It has ACA in the middle, and then the M is the reflection of the W at the end. So there's this energy of the M of co-creation, the W of two U's, and the ACA, which means father, in the middle. To sweep under the bridge. Oh, that's interesting, because I was just getting the card of me being under the bridge today. Very interesting. Okay. So at 555, the twin flames for 2 and 1, the feminine and masculine, and unconditional love, or the twin flames and the 2 of cups, the magician and the king of cups, the lamb to father leap of the divine feminine and divine masculine to dance the crazy eights for the 4 quote-unquote world, which is a world of survival, to the 8 world, which is of dreams. And then the 4 word of word expanding into the 8 word of maca word, which was also coming up as bird word. And note in word, if you take the W off, O-R-D still means word. So it's like 2 U's word instead of 1 word, instead of 1. And the maca is kind of like mimicking the bridge, right? With the mediator, the father, or that Jesus energy in between the male, the man and the woman, basically, with the M and the W. And the ord is also the point, the source, the beginning, the origin of all. So I was also getting that the macaw's a bird from the beginning. The underlying energy of the 21 and moon then came up with the 27 ethereal touch, 36 of the second chakra, Archangel Ariel, and the Queen of Swords upright, number 52. And before I forget, the star, and I thought it was Athena at first when I looked at it, but it's not. It's Alhena, A-L-H-E-N-A. And it's the star at the bottom of Gemini, basically. But I noticed it because it's opposite of Sirius in the triangle. So you have the triangle, Sirius, and then Betelgeuse and Procyon. And if you were to make a kite, Alhena would make the kite between the triangle and Alhena at the bottom of Gemini, which is the inner foot of the twin on your left. So Alhena is coming up as very significant here. It was showing me, and it had to do with the twins. The Lovers card had come out, along with the owl, and they're showing me the owl's wingspan between Procyon and Betelgeuse, but their wingspan was from Sirius reaching out to Alhena. So I had to look up Alhena because I don't know anything about it, and I'll get to that at the end, but I just wanted to bring it up before I forget. So the moon, 21, 27 ethereal touch, the 36 of the second chakra, Archangel Ariel, and the Queen of Swords, 52. And then the second coming came up, and I went to page 232, which 232 is a road in my area that goes to a place called New Hope. He shall rule for 1,000 years. Then shall Satan be loosed again for a season. And there's this energy too of I keep getting 1,000 years ago, and then the 1,000 years of promised peace. So 1,000 years ago is 1,024, and we're in 2024, And then they're like telling me that 1,000 years starts this year in 24 to 3024. So the macaw also, if you condense macaw, the ACA literally becomes the 8 with the tail into the W and the M's tail into the first A. So it becomes MOOW, but it looks like moon, this word here. And again, there's 2 8s because the M and W make an 8, and then the 8 of the ACA. So there's the crazy 8s coming up again, the infinity energy. 2 humans connecting on the whispering bench, the Christed bridge, that starts with M, which is 1v1, and co-creation, which is also pi, the circle with the line down the middle. It's the same thing because the line is actually an arc. And the V is creation. So they all end up being the same. 1v1, parentheses around the 1, which is pi, 111, or parenthesis, 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 like that expansion of energy in either direction, and ends with 2 U's, or 2 V's of co-creation, or 2 mountains and 2 valleys, depending on how you look at it. So the MA comes up as the mother, and CA is the house, the dog, the fence, or the circa, the approximation of when they existed. Milk, mug, and song came up to be the naughty uncle. Summon, the lineage, the person, to praise and scold and shift, or be allowed to. So Maka, again, was coming up as the mother's shift, the call to praise and song. The word being the whispering point. Westward, the W of, which is double, and the energy of different races or different nationalities. The mother's shift westward, which, as the West was one, tends to be a more masculine energy. The double point, the origin, how the West was one, the number 1. And West equals WEST, which is the whispering bench, East. So it all is a wash anyway, right? Because West ends up equaling East. It's the same. And then the macaw of the mother and the caw. And caw was turning into cord, the mother's cord. Macord and pa's word. Mac and paw were coming up. And mapaw means light. And magpaw is to release moisture or sweat it out. The mother of macaw and the ord, O-R-D of word, which is the point of origin, or the crow's distance, which is the hypotenuse connecting the lines. The world, which is 2 U's, or logarithm of base 2. The world and the moon and the ace of wands, the mother-daughter inspired by gentle touch, and Atlas, sacral chakra of Archangel Ariel, and the Queen of Swords, Lady Liberty. Being whole and complete and counting 1 to 10 wands as the Queen of Swords speaks of light and the moon and the sacral womb at 649 of the lovers and getting your wish. And the different macaws that came up, there's more than this, but at this site, when I was doing this, came up the blue and gold macaw, or blue and yellow macaw, and the Cuban red macaw. So the Queen of Wands, Omega year here, and the world and the moon, counting to 10 for the lunar eclipse in Libra to come, which was yesterday. The mother and daughter carried the energy of carrying the weight of the world was coming up too. We did a lot of yard work that day, and we carried a lot of bags to the backyard. So there's that energy coming up with Atlas as well. At 652, which is the lovers and the Queen of Swords, again, Lady Liberty, the 33 of unicorns with 13 of goals, 25 phoenix, 31 thorns, and 21 of the moon came up. The rainbow bridge of unicorns between death and life, control and chaos, as the phoenix rising is the Knight of Wands with the magic potion. The gold and the sun, or the golden sun, or the Christed sun, who escorts the moon in transition to gold, escorting the silvery moon with sons of their own. Twin suns came up, and that was interesting too, because then Magenta did a video about the white sun behind the yellow sun, and the resurrection and the crown of thorns, now seeing here through the eyes of Christ, reflecting the sun. So this read was done prior. I just watched Magenta's video yesterday, I think. But this is done on the 22nd. But here through the eyes of Christ, which the Christ light is often, right, that white light with the golden energy in it, reflecting the sun. Cuban red comes up here as cube 1. Our Ed is extra dimensional, but also Mr. Ed comes up as God. And the Cuban red, and again talking about the macaws, the Q bands red. That was interesting. And being on earth between the sun and the moon, the mother between the kids, the son and the daughter, the father sees the sun and the mother sees the moon or the daughter moon. She sees the romance of it, right? The father sees the projection of the sun. The 14 of judgment then comes up with the book and the binding, releasing gases. What ties the pages together loses steam. Oh, that's very interesting, because as I was reading about Alhina today, it's one of the planets that's losing its hydrogen, right? So I don't know how long it is before it collapses or supernovas, what stage that actually is, but it was literally reading as it was losing steam. The book or binding releases gases. What ties the pages together loses steam, the binding. The moon's story, macaw, the origin, one page at a time, one day at a time. 32 of the journey of transformation and breaking chains that held together. So breaking the chains, right, that are unnatural to then be held together naturally without force or no force field. In a vacuum. Castle, cloud 9, 0 point field. Presents suspended animation, and spending was coming up there. Suspended animation, the annual mother's tie-on or tiger lioness connection or mat connection between 8-8 and 12-12 is 10-10, where 8-8-8 is 24 and 12-12-12 12-12-12 is 36, but for some reason 28 was coming up there. Oh, the year 28. All right. So 8-8-8 is this year, 24. And then we have the 12-12-12 day in 2028. And then 2026 is when we have the 10-10-10, which is coming up as the middle point, right? That's the point to be in, even though 2028 is the 1 year. 26 is the 8 year, which is power, and the 10-10-10 portal. And now the moon in Virgo until the lunar eclipse as the 9 eagles soars over the mountain range. The open book or the heart squared is the people's remembrance, which is also the mountain. Mount 10 is the people's remembrance. The 23, the King of Wands came up a lot this week, is the owl card here, the 23, and co-creation of 2 U's between 0 and 1 and 2 and 3, which is 23, the King of Wands. As 2023 was also last year's lesson for the ego of the masculine, where the King of Wands is wiser now. The 7 of the cracker, and then 4 and 22 came up with birth and the mountain. And then tomorrow, because this was the 22nd, was the 23rd, again, the King of Wands. And then the excitement of 7 days to April Fools. As the King of Wands and Emperor with key to the 5D station, or July celebration of birth, and that came up today as July being key, of the mountain that, again, look at my Instagram message about that. July celebration of birth of the mountain that is aligned with the 5D station. The King of Wands in the chariot with the Emperor on the mountain. April Fools with 4-4 and then 422 coming up here. And 4-4 for me is Ramsgate or Aries Gate. And then to 422, which is then leading into from Aries into Taurus. And the 22s came up when I looked it up this year too, because all of the signs change on the 22nd from July through October. So July 22nd to August 22nd to September 22nd to October 22nd. That's when the signs change, right? They're different every year. As the eagle and the owl fly together, and again, the owl was, I just talked to you about the owl's wingspan within the winter triangle. The eagle and the owl fly together. When the moon is in the 7th house, and drops of Jupiter align with the eyes of Laura Mars. Chains are broken, books thrown out. The eagle scouts the owl's wisdom, and lovers leap. The moon will shine as the 2 stars escort it, which came up today again, as the 2 stars escorting the eagle were coming up as Procyon and Betelgeuse. But Sirius was in the card next to it, so the triangle was coming up there, and then again, Alhina. As the 2 stars are escorting it, and 7-4, which is July 4th, which came up in my message again today, very significant in my Instagram message, to July 4th to the 22nd. And of course, the Olympics start then. July 4th, and the 19th was coming up here too, 2024. And it was reminding me that we're in that 11-month period of 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, 1 hour of 777 Valentine's Day last year to 888 of the Power Gate this year at the Olympics. And this year, 815. Yeah, so this year 77 adds up to 22. Very interesting, because last year Valentine's Day, which came up today as well, the Chinese Valentine's Day, some countries always celebrate it on 7/7, but it literally was 7/7/7 last year, and the actual day of their Valentine's Day last year was August 22nd, which came up in my Instagram today. And then here's the 22 again of the constant change at the 22 from July through October. So 2 stars meet. The double diamond star comes up here with the W, and George W was coming up for whatever reason. And then George and Lucy came up. My aunt and uncle are George and Lucy. In the sky with diamonds was coming up, and then George Harrison was coming up, and then Washington was coming up, and I Am Everywhere, which is from the movie Lucy. Energy or energy of the Lamb to Father, UCY, Lucy. So Lucy is Lambda, UCY. And the holy or whole at the Y, which is the 0 point, Grail, which is God's rail, the whispering bench, origin of 0 point. And then Ben Macaw came up. And the kite key and electricity, Electri-City, the Tri-City State area was coming up, which is New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. So Ben, I looked up Ben Macaw to see what came up, and Ben the blue-throated macaw came up. And Leroy, a.k.a. Enzo, the military macaw, was up for adoption at Northwest Bird Rescue in Vancouver, Washington, and that was on Pet Finder. And then Ben's birds also came up, so a lot about the birds. And then Ben came up, which is the stone, the pyramidion, or pyramidon, it's M-I-D-O-N, is venerated in the Sun Temple at Heliopolis. Anu or Lunu, the primordial stone or mound, arose from primordial, this is the story of that, is that it arose from primordial waters, Nu, upon which the creator deity Atum settled, the top stone of the pyramid, and related to the obelisk. The obelisk, there being the Tekhinu, so there's the Hinu. Oh, interesting. As I'm talking about Alhenna, here's Tekhinu, which again, the last letters always denote, sexes or plurals, feminine, masculine, or plural. The pairs at the temple entrances here, and the earliest obelisk is still in its original, position, is 68 feet tall, of red granite at Senusret, which is the district in Heliopolis, Egypt. So back to the cards here at 753, which is the Chariot and the Knight of Swords, the underlying energy of the 21, that she is the moon, and 60 of riding the cosmic wave, 65 of the breaking, and 27 of ethereal touch. She is whole and romantic and riding the cosmic wave of peace, with the King of Pentacles, 65, to be the breaking of them. Takes a gentle touch. The 44 of Rings of Time, grounding and integrating the old way of doing things. As the 43, Three of Cups, the bride offers herself with the 54 Earth Angel. And the Page of Swords, happy to come together to get the message across. The 24 of the Queen of Wands and the spaces between the words with the 1 of Heartfire, brought to life. Wake Me Up Now, Wake Me Up Inside is coming up. Bring me to life, wake me up inside. So Evanescence is coming up here. A woman with magic, wisdom from the old bird, and read between the lines. At 826, the dance of the Page of Wands and the underlying energy of the 27 of the Ace of Wands walking away. The 28 of Victory. The 7 of Community again. The 36 of the second chakra, Archangel Ariel. With new passion for victory, the Ace of Wands to the 2 of Wands, right? From that new passion into the choice to make. And the 2 of Wands is also the twin flames. Seeing peace in the community, the Chariot, the sacral chakra, and the weight of the world. Ariel was coming up as Airy, as in Aries, and the L of the Lambda. The 22 of the Yin Yang, there's a 22 again, with the Fool and the 5D station, doesn't take no for an answer. The 20 of Envy, the 30 of the Garden and the Gate, and the balance between the judging, the judged, the innocent, the home and union. And then the 48 of the 8 of Cups, the Angel of Balance and going within. So this call to do a lot of going within and meditating and being still at this time. So then we have the Ace of Pentacles with the Star and the 2 of Cups reversed, the 9 of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the 9 of Pentacles reversed, and the 3 of Pentacles upright, 6 of Swords, Justice, 6 of Cups, Tower, and Death card all upright there at 834, which is the Strength, and the 34 of the 8 of Wands. A new life or dreams, and not seeing eye to eye with naysayers, the Wounded Warrior. And that could be someone who's playing the victim. Those with sharp words, actually powerless or dependent at work. Finding peace with truth and balance, the justice system, with Aquarius and Libra upright, Sagittarius reversed, and the 6 of Cups, innocent children or soulmates, the vulnerable. A sudden death or change, a sudden realization or explosion, fond memories and a fateful day, as the dark night approaches the patient angel, with Scorpio, Saggy to the Queen of Pentacles, destined, or Libra, Pisces, or Virgo, schooling the golden goose. The Queen of Cups is upright, needing help to manifest a move, or knowing the party's over. The worst is over, with the King of Swords upright and the King of Cups reversed. With Pisces and Gemini starting over, and the King of Cups reversed with their world upside down, and wants to start over with X, or in a need for affection and working to align or get organized in order to split, to get clarity and be happy with themselves, or sad about an offer of passionate night and unable to sleep or sleep with, or rise above, forgive, or apologize. As the Page of Cups is dumping their burdens or responsibilities, with the 10 of Cups reversed, family perhaps unhappy there, or an ending that's way overdue to happen, and the Queen of Swords upright speaking her mind. At 849, which is strength, power, good health, the dance of getting your wish, the 49, and assessing worth of bad influences or gossips, third-party interferences, with the Emperor upright and the King of Pentacles upright being seen together, but both seem to have their own agenda. As the King of Pentacles is strong and confident, or supportive partner, or supporting partner to fix things or make amends, letting go a bit unraveled when the Knight of Wands comes rushing in, or this energy of the liar, cheater, thief, and uncomfortable, knocked off balance in the energetic exchange here of this. Boldly moving forward in the sun, dealing with the devil, trying to stand in their way, refusing to back down, with options here. The kids may not be welcome here at the adult table. Left out in the cold, another victorious and leading the way. Perhaps given a choice by the Queen of Wands, who may be holding back an announcement or made a bad call, perhaps some foolish behavior or inequity of receiving the Ace of Cups, love, from a divorcee or alternative beliefs. The Page of Wands reversed, frustrated, with the King of Wands upright, awake or with a bright idea in order to end the conflict. Standing up to the crowd with the Hermit's counsel here, with clarity or new information that stresses them out, perhaps having a good cry to release, as the Empress reversed is in lack and waiting for their ship to come in, or present and wanting to be accounted for. Okay, so that is that message here. So then we have this message of the day, which starts out with the past life deck, and then the Fortune's Oracle, the Journey of Love, and then Shaman Dreams is there at the bottom instead of the Rider-Waite deck. Okay. So that day, so at the 22nd still, I pulled the Forgiveness card with the 2 doves in it, fast from the past life deck. So the Knighthood had been pulled earlier, and then I had Forgiveness. The Knighthood, Forgiveness. The energy, show of power of infinite good half. And Gigahenrys were coming up here, or Henry's gig. The Eagle's trap. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Forgiveness here, like forgiveness. The energy at night. The Knight's Hood, forgiveness. The 1000th night. I'm getting the 9th. It's like night and then an H on the end. Instead of the 9th, the 9th. The 1000th night in the Eagle's trap. Or the Who, which can be HU, of the human spin, the divine spin, of the sphere, the ship, the shapeshifter's axis, which is Mother Nature. He, the heart or the throat coming up here as F or G, the twin flame digamma, or CT. G is C and a T, a little T. The energy of the whispering bench and connecting to top dog. And 2 gammas on the whispering bench, bridging as the 33 energy of Christ consciousness to the top dog. IVEN, which is code for me for Jesus Christ, and then ESS, which is the S of Sophia, the temples of Christos Sophia. Then the energy of Ni was coming up here, KNI, which is hair, 7, or knee. And I was getting the energy of Rapunzel's hair, the calm before the storm, and down on one knee. The Spanish Big Brother, the German Court of Law, the infinite 2 humans, balance or take a spin, co-creating the heart, Roentgenium, the atomic number 111, which I told you before is co-creation, and the symbol for this is RG. Transuranic, so talking about Uranus and Aquarius, through the age of Aquarius, this chemical element, or red and green without the blue, the radius of gyration. And that's funny too, because Rocky Horror came up with Let's Do the Time Warp Again. Or French Intelligence Service coming up here, Portuguese General Register, and Brazilian ID cards, or egos of all of them, with the Ivy Temple of one equal and congruentness. Doves discussing how to get in, with Knight on guard, so what to do next. Sword is his truth, but the shield is the unicorn with their horn down and 3 tales to tell. His story, her tale, his night, her day. Time for things to go her way. I actually saw a robin catching the worm this morning as I was picking up sticks on the front lawn this morning. So it is officially spring. I saw a robin out front catching a worm, and I saw 1 robin in the back, and I haven't seen any birds this week at all. So they're really some of the first birds I've seen. And I redid my cushion for out back too, because my old cushion was all falling apart. So I got a lot done this week. right, so now we have the state of the arts came up. I'm just reading at some of my notes. He is the infinity in all the arts, the state of the arts. And 4-9 came up. Yeah, and forgiveness came up again too. And now we have this read. All right, so this was done on the 24th. 720, 738, 39, and 40 were the decks that I pulled from. The 720 is the Seven of Chariot, the 20 of Judgment, 38 is the Queen of Cups, 39 is the Knight of Cups, and 40 is the Page of Cups. Again, we had 1111. It keeps coming up. Twin flames first, and then 5127 came up. Actually, 251 came up today. Prior to this, it's 7:02 on the clock right now. And then 51222 also came up. So there's energy of 111 of the masculine and 222 of the feminine on the other side. The twin flame King of Swords with new passion for room 222, which is a guidance counselor show from way long ago. Co-creation of magician, justice, and abundance of the shadow and the King of Swords with co-guidance of the high priestess, the fool, and love. Co-creative divine masculine and co-creative divine feminine, each magician's free at the center and married. And I was doodling with some of the symbolism here that was coming up, right? So co-creation is 111, which is the masculine with the ones. So what was 222? So 222 is an arc with a line. So it's literally one vertical line and one horizontal line. So it's literally the plus sign. Or the pi symbol, a circle with a line down the middle, and then the salt symbol, which is a circle with a horizontal line across, where the masculine would just be the pi symbol. So the divine feminine, and then the energy of source energy in the middle. So it ultimately came up as the pi symbol, and then parentheses around the plus sign with the 0 point at the middle, and then the other side is the pi symbol and then the salt symbol together, which makes the 8. The divine masculine, divine feminine, the leap in conception, the divine masculine's justice, truth, and balance and alignment, and the divine feminine fool with an open heart and a leap of faith, a skip in her step. She 5D stations so that he can 6D manifest instantly. And manifest was coming up as manifest in the path of one timeline, the Y, or the 0 point field. The twin flame Hierophant, masters of the hidden house, both the 1 and the 2 of the masculine and the feminine in the chariot on the fool's journey, going away from the wounded warrior's path to leap and fly. The underlying energy at 801 was the Native American with the TP and the alfalfa sprouts, and I was getting Spanky's gang. The 29 of the star, the 34 of becoming, and the 8 of cups reversed, 48, which was instead of Spanky and the gang, was coming up as the shaman and alfalfa sprouts. It's a different way of doing things. With the native coming up as Nat and IVE, which Nat for me is unforgettable. And then for the IV temple, which E is temple, but also 1 equal and congruent to. And IV is also the number 4. Unforgettable played for E. As I am 1 equal and congruent to EM. So AM, and not AM and PM, but AM is the masculine and EM is the feminine, not PM. She's not post meridian, she's the feminine. I am and I am. AME, the AM and the EM. Our or our inner child first. A gift from the stars where TP becomes a space module. And then the AME means to love. It's one of the meanings of it. And again, the inner child or children here. And then Ben came up again, which is that pyramid stone. The blue macaw, 784. And then Benjamin Moore came up with that. So 784, I looked up, and the first entry was King David. Then olive, crystals, I love, Mother Mary, crystals, healing, and then Kelvin also came up. So macaw, they gather at a clay lick, a colpa, in Peruvian Amazon. The largest parrot is greater than 3 feet long on average. They're very social and travel in pairs or groups of parents with a few young, but also they gather in flocks to avoid predators. They're very significant to the Native American tribes, especially the Southwest U.S., and just went through some of the spiritual, spirit and symbolism.com, where fertility came up. Their feathers were used for ceremony. So here the macaws and the toucans were both coming up. So basically the differences between them, the macaws are much larger and they tend to mimic. And I wrote down Mother Crow. And the toucans are two who can, like I think I can. They're much quieter and make croaking sounds, whereas the macaw's loud ruckus calls. The toucans prefer solitary or in pairs and tropical rainforests, where the macaws are more social and more adaptable, and they can be in not just the rainforest, but the lowlands and the mangroves as well. Toucans are mostly in trees and feed on fruits, insects, and some reptiles and eggs at times when needed, or small reptiles and eggs at times. And the macaws are fruits and nuts, seeds, and flowers. So it's interesting, the family. So toucan's family is Rhamphastidae. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but that's okay. And the macaw is the Psittaceae. And I was breaking them down as the toucans as the ram phase source, the energy of the father, that one to die, earth, blood, but that comes up for both because that's the DAE at the end. But PSI, which is pounds per square inch, but also the TT was coming up of pi again, and the acid of AE. The physical energy of the TT, which is temper tantrum, or the Twin Towers energy, or pi, and acid ash, which ash is also bright light. Past one, or the sea, that one, a taxi, or tax of the sea, was coming up there. And then for the macaw was the macaw was the PSI one. The ram one is the toucan Sam. So coming up as a form of psychic energy is the PSI, high dog, pounds per square inch, and the pitchfork was also coming up. So then Neil Diamond came up. Neil with diamond, unforgettable for E, which is also the temple or one equal and congruent to, the AME of AM and EM, and me, which has come up in my messages as one of God's nicknames. And then Rican came up, as in American, or any Rican, as I was just in Costa Rica and Puerto Rican, anything like that was coming up. Rican is kingdom or empire, realm, rich, powerful, spool, mash, twig, rice. As the AME is the empire realm, the monster mash, present under the stars as white cone sprouts, becoming in energetic exchange, uncomfortable emotionally here, as the underlying energy at 9 o'clock again at night, leaving or travel, spouse, father, and Native American, the train, the salesman, the pyramids, and going back to Native roots, or spouse with Native American father, or a visit to a medicine man or woman, or Chinese medicine, high priest or priestess, alternative healing methods coming up here. Spirituality and religious trust and faith, the light of liberty and prayer, the monk or nun, lessons and blessings, and ships coming in, shiny white and new. As the underlying energy at 9:17 is the moon with 21 and birth 4, celebration 5, and star is 29. At 9:18, which is the hermit and the moon, is the lunar eclipse, which is interesting. It was just funny the way this came up because 9/18 is also my birthday, and the next lunar eclipse is on 9/18 on my birthday. So Earth and Moon, so some kind of connection they want brought up there between, right? Because there's always connection between the 6-month eclipses. The Earth and Moon birth the divine masculine, light in the box, freedom in the Lamb to Father leap of stability and freedom, right? Commitment and freedom. A gift from the stars, the Emperor and the Hierophant present, or mother gifts daughter to father, a shining star. The next first card out is the 23 of the owl, the 33 unicorn, and the 8 of the dragon, the 36 of the world. As the King of Wands is wise, because he was gifted in 2023 with wisdom of the stars and unicorn gateholders on the 4D bridge. The dragonfly dance 2 as 1 and a beautiful mind, as 36 is the atlas map of intent around the world in a shift. At 9:31 is the hermit and the group, the 66 of coming together, the 17 of her grace, 23 again of across the waters, and 19 of Shakti, 28 of sacred convergence, the number 8 of yin yang lover, and 34 of becoming. The Queen of Pentacles coming together with stars, her grace, to the King of Wands across the waters, Shakti's sun, and again the axis of Aquarius Leo coming up here, the twin flame sacred convergence, dance of the yin yang lovers, she bending over backward to clear the vortex, and the energetic exchange of becoming in the space between. The 14 of falling angel, light as a feather, the 44 of rings of time, grounding and integrating, the 70 of the 2 of pentacles and heaven on earth, performance, projected, and then 59 of 48 of the 5 of swords and 8 of cups. Perhaps meeting here at the temple of liberty, ending the war within, the man of the earth, woman of the sky, Rapunzel laying her hair down. In order to be climbed up. The underlying energy of the Queen of Wands upright and the Queen of Cups reversed, as the King of Wands reversed stands his ground to the Tree of Life reversed, and the Queen of Swords reversed in the Palace of Wands, which is upright here, breaks the Ace of Wands reversed, or the Ace of Cups reversed. With the Queen of Wands upright, the Queen of Cups reversed, taking a risk, but fell asleep on the job, as 7 of Swords and the 9 of Wands. And there was this energy of, an example was a movie I had watched where an older brother meets his younger brother for the first time who's autistic. And there was this moment where he really gets him, you know, and he's kind of watching him and just smiling and admiring his young brother who's autistic. This energy of the wounded warrior bonding with their little bro, the wounded warrior's negative self-talk, lifting weights to be strong, but uncomfortable still in their emotions. As the injustice of the King of Pentacles upright and the 5 of Cups reversed getting over loss, the 2 of Swords needing to decide, or angsting over the 6 of Cups, innocent ones, and foolish investment. The Magician reversed, the Emperor upright, manipulating in Lovers reversed, or in a breakup here, a lack of affection, with Gemini reversed all over this section, with Libra and Aries both reversed here as well. The Sun is upright with the 2 of Pentacles, empowered performance in a twist of fate, as the Chariot is upright in a bold move of the King of Cups upright with the Page of Wands reversed, and the 5 of Wands, 3 of Wands reversed, and the 4 of Swords upright here. The King of Cups upright with that Page of Wands reversed in a fight to be seen and heard, and sleeping on it. With the Strength of the Knight of Cups reversed in a release of depression and a need to shine. In energetic exchange, the arrows of love, overworked. And despite all of that energy of not working out, like finding a way in the Keys of the Heart. That was the name of the movie there too. Yeah, and if you haven't watched Magenta, watch her. There were 2 videos done. The first one has very significant information in it, so I would check that out for sure. And again, let's do the time warp again. The gamma rays coming up. The lambda rays came up today as well. Yeah, Native American came up again. And again, Benben and Alfalfa came up again. Spanky, so Span Key. And the Gang, which is G1G. Or Spa Enki was coming up here. Or Sophia, Pa, and Enki. Sophia the father and Enki. And then G1G, which is also Gig. 2 spiraling around the 1 in the middle. See, well, let me just see what came up today. So like I said, I saw the robin this morning. Yeah, and this is when Alhina came up, but as Athena. So it's interesting because they also talked about Hercules, which I always get Athena is Hercules. Like that's her alter ego. So Venus is associated with Alhina, and Venus disappears mid-March and doesn't return until August. And I literally stated in my Instagram today, it should be very interesting. And I was quoting the dates from now or March until through August. So Venus disappears mid-March and doesn't return until August. And again, this is where the eagle's wingspan came up between Sirius and Alhina, which Alhina, let's see if that was, again, is in the bottom of Gemini, the twins. But in looking for Alhina, Ursa Major also came up in the Owl Nebula, M97, and Sirius being called the Night Owl, and also Ishtar and Inanna, known through the owl and the Rosetta and Venus energy. So they're all kind of coming together anyway, right? Because there's this Venus energy and the owl energy coming together in all of these energies here between Sirius and Alhina and Ishtar and Inanna and the twins in Gemini to Cancer, basically. Because it's, when I looked up Alhina too, it's in the constellation of Gemini, but considered the sign of Cancer. Very interesting. And my rising sign is right at the border between, it's Cancer, but it's Gemini Cancer right there because it's always confusing. So it's the left foot of the twins. It's called the bright foot. And Alhina is the 43rd brightest star in the sky. And the owl stretches her wings, Sirius to Alhina, escorted by Betelgeuse and Procyon linked in, under the Gemini twins. And my cards came out the same way. Literally, Gemini, the lovers upright, came up above the owl between the stars and Sirius, which was exactly what it looked like in the sky. That's always so cool, the way they try to get me to something to make me understand. So Alhina also is supposed to mean, has a couple different meanings, but it means the brand. So representing the branding mark on a horse or camel that was done in paint, tar paint. And it's, the star is actually Gamma and then Geminorum, so Gemini Gamma. And it's exhausting its hydrogen supply at its core. It also can mean on the neck of camel and the shining one. It also, in another site, meant hurt, and this is just from Wikipedia, but another site, it's meant hurt and wounded foot, too. So it said, with Alhina, it's 6 degrees south of the ecliptic. So the moon never actually occults it, as there some other planets as well. But they said Venus will have a series of close conjunctions here with Alhina, August 2143, and then every 8 years through that century, so 2100s. The sun passes Gamma Gem around June 30th every year. So that's a significant date, which is Gemini to Cancer. It's a binary star and the third brightest in Gemini other than Pollux and Castor. It's 109 light years, and LY came up from July in my Instagram today as well as Lyran, light years, from Earth. And the attributes assigned to it are refined, charming, friendly, artistic, subject to honors and wealth, and rapid mind and enjoys comfort. The sign of Cancer, 9 degrees 6. And I think it's a white star. Cancer crab is one who seized the foot of Hercules when he was struggling with Hydra. Hercules crushed the monster under his heel, and Juno in gratitude awarded the crab's place in the heavens. Hercules is the personification of the sun and is highest at Cancer. Not Leo, but Cancer. And to find Alhina, it said too, if there's a conjunction with your ascendant here and Alhina, there's a love of poetry, painting, teaching, and has a Venus nature. So it's interesting. So if you ever get your chart read, you might want to ask them to add Alhina in there too. It was funny because the rising sign connection there was associated to Imelda Marcos and then Pope Francis as well. Very different energies there. And the word Hina isn't just henna, but it means alive, mother, meat, happiness, joy, peace of mind, name, cloth, and fabric. And then Hina with a squiggle over the N is quickly. The twins surrendered to the wisdom of Sophia. And here's where 251 came up with the Sophia asteroid, which is an S-type asteroid from 10/4/1885, message received. But in the main asteroid belt between Jupiter and Mars, as the magician upright with the wounded warrior reversed surrenders to propose love to the twin flame, rings link with 29 and the 3 of Wands, the 3 stars in a triangle, the 23 of the Owl in Gemini to Cancer, Alhina, June 30th, which is Gemini to Cancer. So yeah, just some energy around that. If you guys know anything about Alhina, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear. And this is just a message when I was outside meditating before I did the video. God speaks across the 33 bridge, but can't hear you if you're under the bridge in emotional waters. So use this time during the eclipses to connect, because the energy is already fading because it's the day after. The Page of Pentacles drop into your heart to the Knight of Swords, JC, as the Ace of Pentacles with the 698 pod, the King of Cups, JC, is in between mediating the fire and the ice of the twins to open a direct path for you to God. So to hermit and go within and connect now, because the eclipses are very powerful connections. Page of Pentacles, Knight of Swords in the pod of the King of Cups and Hermit of love and wisdom. And also I looked up the number 251 in Gematria, and it wasn't the first entry, but I went to 444, which is the angelic realms, because I really wasn't looking for just anything. I was looking for connection there. So 444, the word was dasting, D-A-S-T-I-N-G. I looked up dast, and it means daring. And 251 is coming up as daring to do something. All right, so I said I would pull another card here. And again, the feminine about to birth and the energy of the Greco-Roman timelines and the arts, and perhaps clearing some stuff that's still stuck that needs to go. And let's just pull from Messages of Love to keep it simple. I'm just looking at this card and I'm getting T hearts. God's hearts, God's children. the arts and his creators, his little creators. Just getting Greco, like geckos, row, man, like go, like the people in power like to go. Grecos, row, man, get out of here. And here is God's hearts. All right, messages of love. Oh, there you go. On the floor. Time apart. Some distance will help bring clarity. You and this person don't share the same vision. Soulmate. Your soulmate loves, accepts, and respects you. The timing is not quite right yet. Here and now, your true love is already part of your life. Time alone or nature will help you recharge. So anyway, they're telling you to go within. Okay, your soul remembers this intense connection. And friendship is leading to more. The bottom of the deck is patience. Everything will unfold in divine timing. Interference in the past here, an external party is intruding on this relationship. So have patience as this is all unfolding right now, okay? So that's the message here. Time to go within and truly connect. Use this energy of the eclipses for a powerful upgrade, a powerful connection, to remind yourself to spend time every day connecting to your higher self. And remember to drink enough water and get enough rest and have joy in your day. And make sure to ground yourself. Put your feet out in the grass. Now that it's spring, you don't have any excuses. So just reminders, and to rise and be love. I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing one. Bye.